Hi everyone, I'm Jean-Paul Grobben, an Ableton certified trainer based in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and I have been invited by Revealed and Ableton to record a video. So that's what I'm doing right here, I'm recording that video. So who is this for and what are we talking about? Well, I'll mostly be talking about Ableton Live and some of its more rudimentary features as well as a few more specialized ones. And who's this video for? Well, mostly for people who are considering switching over to Ableton Live or who have done so already, but just don't know all the nice, cool little features in it yet. So hopefully I'll be able to show some cool new things for you. And with that, yeah, let's get started. Here I have some drum loops, some fine drum loops. And let's say I want to use one. I'm just going to drag it into one of these empty clip slots. And as soon as I do that, the name of the clip pops up here, and we also get a play button right next to it. So if I press that, of course, that clip is going to play. And just for a tempo reference, I'm going to turn on the metronome. You won't be hearing much of it yet, but currently the tempo of the track is 125 BPM. And every sample I drag in here, every loop is automatically warped, which means that tempo is analyzed and then you're free to change the tempo of the project with the sample following that tempo. So it's 125 now, but I can lower this. And as you can see, it just plays back the clip slower. It's that easy. You don't have to do anything for it. With most files, that's the case, of course. With simple cut loops like this one is actually 2 bars long, right? And then it starts to loop. We can also make that loop a little bit shorter. For example, what if I only want to use 1 beat? Just like that, or 2. So that's what I first like to gather here in the session view. I just drag in MIDI clips and start doing stuff on push, or I do things with the mouse. And then I create like 2 or 3 scenes that sort of cover the main essence of the track. And then once I have those, well, there's multiple ways you can take stuff from the session view to the arrangement view. One of them is recording, which isn't always, it's definitely not the fastest, but it's very spontaneous. But it very much depends again on the type of music that you make. You can also grab the entire scene. So this scene that contains all of these clips, I'm going to grab it and drag it here into the arrangement view. You can also do that. And similarly, I can also grab all of these clips and drag them back into the session view. So usually once you've transitioned from one view to the other, you don't really look back that much. I do sometimes for the mixing, because here it's nice to have the mixer all lined up like this, like an actual mixer. Whereas here in the arrangement view, if I unfold the tracks, then the mixer is here on the right? So we have the mute button, the solo, this is now the volume slider, and this is the panning. So what is the nice thing about templates? Because you can save anything as a template, right? So I can go to File now and say, well, save this as a template. Great, so that's how I actually did it. But how is a template different from another project, let's say? Well, the main difference is, and maybe it's even the only difference, besides that it lives in this folder for templates. But as soon as a live set, a .als file lives in this folder, and then you open it, it will open that live set as an untitled live set, which means that if I save this now for the first time, it will always prompt me to save this new version of this, not of the template, but of whatever I'm doing. Save that in a new location so that the template stays unaffected and unchanged. That's basically it. I can now play notes, and now you can see that it's actually playing 2 instruments at the same time. Great, but not the most convenient. Right? Why have a separate track at all if I'm not going to use the MIDI on the track anyway? So that's where racks come in, right? I can select the title bar of this instrument, press Command or Control on Windows, G, and now it's wrapped around in a rack. You know, you see these little rack ears, let's say, on the left and the right, which is to indicate where the rack begins and ends. And the first button here that is on is the devices, the device list. And the one below it is the chain list. And that's probably the most important one, at least right now. So we currently only have one chain in this instrument rack. We can add multiple chains. We can add as many chains as we like. But for now, let's keep it simple and just drag one additional instrument in here, which is, again, the analog. So yeah, this is how easy it is. Now I just play a note. And again, I'm playing both instruments at the same time. I also have a little internal mixer here. So if I want to turn down one sound, I can just do so very easily here. So now the analog is a little bit louder compared to its operator counterpart. So yeah, we have panning, we have mute, and we have solo, all of those things.